Hello, I'm Dal Bartling, and I certainly hope that you and yours are having yourself a nice, sunnier, warmer day. And they are getting warmer. You know, the older I am, the more that I think. And I think sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. That'd be a nice title of a book. In fact, there is a book. It's put out by motivational speaker John Maxwell. I recommend it. One of the topics, mainly the main topic, is failure. Ooh, kind of scary. Don't even want to mention the word failure. It's out there, folks. And some of the most important lessons in life included failure. I love to talk to people on how they kind of got where they are. And when you do, you're going to hear about, indeed, some failures. Think of the failures in the Bible. Noah, after the flood, he's with the family and he gets himself drunk. Moses, the people are grumbling. They want some water. So what's he do? He takes the rod, hits the rock. Samson, maybe too trustful with Delilah. Then there's King David and some of the things that he did. And then Peter's denial of our Christ 3 times. That got me reflecting on some of my failures. And I started to kind of write them down. But the list got so big, I just kept adding to it. It seems like adding to it. Even in the early years. Like one year, and I know you probably know this, that I love the sport of baseball and playing baseball. One year, I stayed out a whole season because I got into it with the coach. And yes, I knew more than the coach did. Boy. And then college. After my first year of college, I got this nice notification saying, we'd like you to stay home. You're on academic probation. You see, instead of majoring in what I signed up for, business administration, I majored in cards, pizza, and beer. I could always study later. Had a nice excuse. I sold a good horse, very good horse, Tonka, for money. Seemed like when I was young, very young, I was able to and thought nothing of taking on different things. And maybe they were risky, but I took them on. And then kind of, as the phrase says, I threw caution to the wind and was not at all embarrassed by or concerned about risks. Not at all. Another failure. Road hunting. Did some road hunting and I was pretty close, very close to the farm. That farmer let me know. And my goodness, that tractor was so big. Get this. I didn't consider the loyalty of an associate. There was an associate that had been with the company over 25 years. There was a certain letter of the law in the manual that said we had to charge for photocopies. And so that month I charged him 50 cents. What about the loyalty? Boy, that was a failure. Going from Sioux Falls to Rapid City and going before the dawn and going over 100 miles an hour. No doubt, I was the only one out there. Got picked up and right on the side of Mitchell. Not getting in writing what was said to me. And then later, when it indeed backfired, I didn't learn my lesson. To CYA, get it in writing. Here's one. Serving pork at a luncheon in which some of the attendees were Orthodox Jews. Having success so fast that I was 3 out of 10,000 associates that was recognized as being the very best, but not having the humility on how I got there. And so, climbing to the top was fast, come down pretty fast too. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. Here's one. You maybe heard of the terms ROI and ROT. Return on investment. Return on time. Important things, right? Indeed. Let's add to that. ROF. Return on failure. What is your return on failure? And what are some ways to increase it? Success and failure are, I would say, on the same coin. Kind of like heads and tails. Success or failure. And they work best when they are together. But it seems like within our culture and things, we want to separate them. Oh, we want you to be successful. When you take on this venture, you are to be successful. That's your goal. Be immediately successful. If you have a failure, we won't talk about that much. We want to put the spotlight on the success. But when they are together, almost like that coin, and not separated, that's when they work best. That's when then humility is not forgotten. You see, we fail forward. Here are some tips on ways to increase your ROF, return on failure. So, number 1, test the waters. Again, the brainstorm and the encouragement should be as we were kids, and put caution to the wind. Take those risks. Probably wear the t-shirt that would say, it seemed like a good idea at the time. It seemed like a good idea at the time. If it's a failure, it's a failure. It's that side of the coin. How about failure itself then? If I want to increase my ROF, then acknowledge that failure and look a little deeper and see, do I have a good miss or do I have a bad miss? Now, a bad miss will have excuses. A bad miss will have excuses. A good miss will have acknowledgement. They will have ownership of it. And later there may be adjustments to it. Again, learn to embrace failure. Yes, embrace failure. And don't think of, well, this is going to embarrass me. Believe me, I had that problem. Hopefully, slowly, I am getting over that problem. Learn. So we've had test the waters, failure, dig in, is it a good miss or a bad miss? Now we move to number 3, which is to learn. Reap the fruit. Learn from that failure. You know, experience is kind of defined sometimes as gain knowledge through direct observation and participation. Failure. Learn from it. Improve. Do the adjustment. Can we improve? Can it be duplicated? And can it be duplicated in our life elsewhere? Test the waters. Look at the failures. Acknowledge the failures. Is it a good miss or a bad miss? Then we go to learn. Have that fruit. It becomes experience. Then we apply improvement. And now, number 5, we encourage. We encourage others. And we encourage ourselves. You know, every good dream is uphill. And it's going to have those switchbacks to climb that hill. Anything worthwhile is uphill. But you have to watch out for the friction of the downhill habits. Downhill habits will tend to slow us down, to keep us from that particular goal. Those excuses. If you apply those 5 tips, then test the waters like a kid. Have your failures. Look for the good misses. Learn. Reap that fruit of experience. Improve and apply. And encouragement. If you do those 5 tips, then it will start to spiral and you'll go to a higher elevation. It's like you went to another level on that switchback, and here you are at a higher level. So go out there and have yourself a sunnier, warmer day, because you know this, but you know I'm rooting for you. Yes, and embrace all those failures. And I'm rooting for you because we're in this together, aren't we? Yes, we are. And blessed are they who ease the pain of misfortune, for they shall be called insurance agents. You, take care.